Hey y'all, Ramdino here. All right, we're getting ready to start our trip. I'm here with John and Brandon. John's an old buddy of mine. We grew up together, and Brandon's a new buddy of mine. We didn't grow up together, but he lives close by. So we're getting ready to start our section hike from Hughes Gap into Erwin. Looking forward to it. Could be a little bit of rain, could be a little thunderstorms. We don't know. Doesn't matter. We're on the trail, going to have a good time. Y'all got anything to say before we go, guys?
Let's get wet.
All right, here we go. This trip's a little unusual in that I actually found some other folks that would hike with me, and so they came along with me, and it gave me an opportunity to reconnect with an old buddy of mine that I've been friends with ever since kindergarten, really, and maybe before that, but got a chance, hadn't really connected with him after high school, and we live in the same town. We wave to each other when we see each other, but we don't really do anything together. So this is an opportunity to connect with him and then to make new friends as well. And so hopefully the audio that's here is raw. Of course, I've edited it for anything that's not appropriate for a PG-13 audience. But in any case, I hope you enjoy that video and hearing folks connect again. This is the first view after coming out of Hughes Gap. There's not a lot of views on this trip, mainly a woods walk, but there were some pretty good ones, and this was one of the good ones, even though it was at the front. So let's get going on this trip.
For a man, that's so that they can keep up with you and help you later. That's right. And then maybe you'll have kids that'll keep her, you know, as well. So I get it, but I'm like, time just seems to go by so quickly the older I get.
All right, so we are just left the first view that you get after Hughes Gap, heading on down to Clyde Smith Shelter, about a mile and a half away. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. Couldn't ask for a better day today. It's not too hot, a little muggy, decent wind when you can get out of the green tunnel. As you can see, it is definitely green tunnel time. And hadn't seen one NOBO, wasn't a through hiker per se. He had through hiked in 2016, and he had hiked the Pinhoti and then the BMT, and now had caught the AT and was just taking it day by day. So that's pretty cool. He'd been on it for a while. Anyway, good day today. Trail's looking great. Glad to be out here and enjoying the trail camaraderie. All right, we're heading get some water, and the water sources, the seasonal water sources, are dry. So right now we haven't come across any water source since Hughes Gap, and we are hiking SOBO to Erwin. So we'll, according to the hiker we passed, did indicate that there was water at the shelter. So that is what we're gonna camel up when we get there, because even though it's only about 6 miles from Hughes Gap to that shelter, it's I've gone through most of my water, and gonna need to fill her up. All right, we will continue the mission. All right, so we just got through stopping. I am gotten a little shaky. I'm not sure why. We're on the trail but an hour or so, and I don't know if it's my new diet or not. Started a new diet, and part of that probably is maybe a little deficit in some essential vitamins or something or another. So hopefully the nutrient food supply that I brought this time is going to come through for me on that, and all the vitamins and stuff is chock full of going to help out. This is kind of what it looks like when you put their lemon lime drink mix into a liter bottle. It's only supposed to mix it with like 8 to 12 ounces, and I guess a liter is what, 30, almost 34 ounces. So so it's going to weaken it a little bit, but in any case, I'll have this all drunk here shortly. And then I also popped one of their honey oatmeal bars, and it's chock full of vitamins and everything. So we'll see. In fact, I think it says it's a meal in of itself. So we'll see how that makes me feel, if it alleviates the shakes. All right, we'll keep going. All right, just left the Clyde Smith Shelter. A couple things about it: good fire ring. There are some good tent spots there. Maybe upwards of 6 to 8. Probably could find some more. Plenty of trees for hammocking. It is not quite a double decker, so you got your bottom platform, and then the upper platform is split into 2 platforms. So really, you could get 2 people on each one of them, but probably better be married or buddies, because it'd be awful tight for 2 strangers to get up there on top. But it's convenient to get, if you got a bag up there or your equipment and there's nobody up there, you can get to your gear a whole lot easier than trying to climb over a bunch of stuff. Privy, I didn't check. I don't know if there's a privy there or not. Didn't find one, didn't look for one, didn't check gut hooks for one. There is water there. It's a pipe spring. Even right now when things are dry, it was a good spring. So the only downside is, like a lot of places, it's 1,000 yards downhill. So it's not one of those shelters where you got the water within 100 foot of the shelter. So keep that in mind. Other than that, good shelter. It does have a covered cooking area, covered area. So the table wasn't covered, but not big enough for that. But plenty of space that there is. We're heading on now. Not sure where we're going to stop tonight. I think it's Iron Mountain Gap. I don't want to. Probably going to stop short of that and make it a 10-day or 10-mile day tomorrow to hit Beauty Spot and camp out there, depending on what the storms are looking like. Don't want to be on top of a bald in the middle of a lightning storm. But probably another couple miles and make it just a short, nice day. And that'll leave us 10 days tomorrow and 12 miles on the last day, which will be Saturday to get out. That's kind of where we're at. Water sources through here. The seasonal ones on gut hook with the half full water droplet. Those are dry. So far I've only got water from one of the full droplet that says it's a reliable water source, and it was good, and that was at the shelter. Okay, be continuing the mission. That's what the trail looks like. Again, they were calling for thunderstorms today. Hadn't seen anything but sun. It's a good thing we're back in the green tunnel, because it would be really hot, pretty muggy, but great day on the trail. All right, we will chat with you in just a bit. Not too far past the shelter, there's a campsite here. Pretty sweet campsite. It's got places for, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 tents, trees for hanging, hammocks, nice little fire ring. There's not a water source here, right here on the trail, but that's just past the Clyde Smith Shelter. All right, we are set up at a stealth site. It's right before Iron Mountain Gap and right after the water source prior to Iron Mountain Gap. Water source is good, it's piped. This is about a 2/10 of a mile uphill from that water source. A lot better hammocking area than it is a tenting area, but we managed to get 2 tents here. So that's Jason's over there. He's hammocking. And there's John over there. He's tenting. So we're here for the night. What time is it?
Like 5 or so.
So it's like 5. We got on the trail about 11:30ish. So it's around 6 hours, something like that. And we did about 9 miles. So slow but steady. Stopped a couple times stopped at the last shelter, Clyde Smith Shelter, and chatted, got us some water, and then we stopped at overlooking 8. So anyhow, that is it. Tomorrow we'll move on to Beauty Spot, and depending on the weather, we'll either stay at Beauty Spot or we'll so we can catch a sunrise, sunset. It's only about 10 miles, so it'll be a really short day. Or we'll keep on going to the next shelter. I can't remember what it is. We'll go there. So that puts us, if we stop at Beauty Spot, a 12-mile day to finish off, or however long we go if we don't stay at Beauty Spot. All right. We'll chat in a little bit. All right, so I got to camp. I chose the beans and rice to bring with me because I thought I would try the beans and rice. So I didn't want to bring everything that they sent me. So this says beans and rice, vegetarian with rice. There it lists all of the good stuff that's in it. And you flip it over for directions, and it says directions, follow instructions on rice pack. Okay, I didn't bring the rice pack because I didn't want the rice pack. I wanted the rice and beans, or beans and rice. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll just guess at it as far as what the mixture ratio should be. So I'm expecting there to be dehydrated beans and rice in this packet. No. It looks like powder. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's definitely powder. It's definitely not beans and rice in there. So it makes me think, although I don't have clear directions, that I was supposed to have the rice pack with it. So now I'm in the middle of nowhere with nothing to eat. Fortunately, I thought ahead, see why I ate, and I did bring other food. But I was looking forward to eating the beans and the rice for this review. So, word of warning on this. You need to think ahead and get everything out and see what the directions are, because this pack doesn't have the directions. So the other packs they have the directions on it. You know, it says mix 1 pack with your favorite liquid or eat dry. I ain't eating it dry, tell you that. Add yogurt or top with fruit. No yogurt out in the backcountry. So that's their chocolate cereal. So in this case, not going to be eating this tonight. I'll try to rehydrate it and see what it tastes like. This ought to be a trip because I got no idea. All right, I will let you know. Okay, so there's the rice and beans rehydrated. I think I've determined, unless I'm missing a packet somewhere and the directions don't say anything about the packet, and they should, since everything ought to have its own directions on it when you're out in the backcountry. That is rehydrated beans and rice. Does not look like rehydrated beans and rice to me. I'm going to taste it. I'll let you know what it tastes like. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to be eating some of that. All right. We're going to taste it, and we'll let you know. All right. Final verdict. That is just not good. I think it's supposed to be drunk, or maybe I'm supposed to be drunk. I'm not sure, but it is just really not good. So, cannot give that a green light. Might be missing something, not real sure. don't know. But thankfully I brought other stuff to eat. All right, we're just coming up on the shelter here. Should be in any minute now. We've been on the trail now for a couple hours from the stealth spot there after the water point before Iron Mountain Gap. And if you're hiking SOBO from Iron Mountain Gap or Trail South, there is a stealth campsite up at the top of that hill coming out of the gap that'll hold plenty of hammocks and 4 or 5 tents or so. So that's a good spot there. You need it coming up out the gap. Here is a trail. I'm not sure if this is a shelter or not, so I'm gonna need to look at gut hooks to figure that out. All right, so we just left Cherry Gap Shelter, heading to Indian Grave Gap, I believe it is. But first we have got to go to Unica Mountain. And Unica Mountain, in 3 miles, we're going to gain about 1,100 feet in elevation. So it's going to be a good haul. And really about a mile of that is more or less flat. So going to gain most of that elevation in 2 miles. So pretty good gradient, but after we hit that, that'll be the crux of the trip. Met Bigfoot on the trail. Unbelievable. Never thought I'd come out here. I thought Bigfoot was hairier. I can see now why people go look for Bigfoot. Bigfoot's a pretty nice person. Anyway, enjoyed talking to her. She is through hiking and just kind of got back on the trail, and she's probably gonna be flipping up. But anyway, it's good to talk to Bigfoot. And if you see this Bigfoot, really enjoyed getting to meet you, and hope to keep up with you. Anyway, back to the trail. So after we hit Unica, there's a couple landmarks, a couple road crossings, some stiles are going across. The water on this section, and this is mid-July, the water here is the sources are dry except at the shelters. So you got good water sources at the shelters, but otherwise all seasonal or intermediate are dry, but you got good flow at the shelters so far. So camel up there when you get the chance. I'd highly recommend that. Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like, and still loving it out here. We'll probably not stay at Beauty Spot. I wanted to camp on top of Beauty Spot and see a sunrise and sunset, but that is not going to happen because they're calling for 80% chance of thunderstorms with 1/4 to 1 inch of rain accumulations. So don't want to be caught out in the open during a thunderstorm on a mountain at elevation. And so I'm not sure how far we're going to go. I don't know if we'll make it to the next shelter. I don't know the name of that shelter. But that shelter, if we made it, it would be around a 16-mile day, which is doable, particularly since it's downhill. I don't know the folks with me that want to do that, but we'll see. So far, everybody's enjoying it. No problems, and no physical problems or anything like that. right, I will let you look at a little bit of the trail here as we go. And typically this section through here, you know, it's mainly hardwood forest and looks pretty much like a lot of the rest of the trail. Hadn't been too overgrown. Not too many blowdowns. Hadn't had to actually get off the trail to dodge anything yet. So I don't think the trail maintainers have been out here. But we hadn't had any issues getting around stuff. All right. We'll chat with you after we top up Unica Mountain. All right, we're getting ready to summit Unica Mountain here in another couple tents. The top of this, for the last couple tents, it's been a spruce forest. It's awful pretty up here. Just to prove to you that there is people in the world that will hike with me, there's Jason and there's John. John's grew up with him, old time friend, been in and out of problems, trouble with him. Nothing major that we got locked up for, but we've had some adventures in our younger years. Jason, I'm just starting my adventures with him, so we'll get him indoctrinated into the group. But anyway, this is almost up, but this is a good stealth site, trail north of the Unica Mountain. So if you're a hammocker, might be a challenge for you in here. Nah, this would be a great place to camp. If we didn't have a storm moving in, we might hang out here for a while, but we're worried we need to get over Unica Mountain and maybe Beauty Spot with calling for a storm. So we'll chat with you down the trail. All right, so I'm pretty certain this is the summit of Unica Mountain. And it is covered in trees. It is not a treeless summit. I have not seen the survey marker yet to confirm that. There may not be one here. Plenty of places to hammock and camp. Pretty. Coming up here, we went through a little spruce forest, the juvenile spruces, and smell like a Christmas tree. Alright, so we have made it to Beauty Spot. I think that is Unica Mountain. I know it is Unica Mountain there, and this is Beauty Spot. Almost 360-degree view. Gorgeous up here. It was quite the climb. Looking back over into Tennessee, there's a parking lot up here. You can actually drive right up here to it. Dumb us walked for 2 days. But it's gorgeous up here. Wind's great, a little hot, but was expecting thunderstorms. I don't think we'll stay here tonight just because it's so early. It's like not even 4 o'clock. So we got 5 more hours of daylight, and might as well get a few more miles under our feet before we camp for the night. It's pretty. Alright, here was our campsite that it said was 1/10 of a mile from Iron Mountain Gap. And you see it's not real flat, but we needed a place to stay. So this is what Guthook said. I'm going to show you here in just a second what the campsite really was. This is the actual campsite. Now, Guthooks didn't name it per se, but it was in the comment section. It'd been a whole lot better to be here. So keep that in mind. Sometimes the best camp spot's right around the corner, and this wasn't but 200 feet away. All right, we got our first climb for the morning, and about 400 foot over a couple miles. Hopefully they'll have some switchbacks, won't be so bad. And looking for a great final day. Getting in. Pack's a little lighter. I don't know, maybe it's a little lighter this morning because it was getting heavy yesterday getting into camp. Anyhow, we are back on the trail looking at Uncle Johnny's, about 8.3-ish away, and most of it is downhill. Of course, every time I say that I get roller coasters. Anyhow, that's what the trail looks like in the morning coming out of Iron Mountain Gap. Alright, we will chat with you later. I don't know if you can hear them birds or not, but one thing I like about the mornings, when the woods start coming alive, the birds are chirping. Nice and peaceful. That's why I come out here. Alright. So way back off the beaten path where there's no road accessibility, the maintainers have not been here. Saw up on Beauty Spot where they had done a great job of weed eating that. But start getting back here in the back country, not so much. But it's not completely overgrown. You gotta watch out for briars and poison ivy. Biggest thing. I've been calling it Iron Mountain. It ain't Iron Mountain Gap. We come out of is Indian Grave Gap. Sorry about that. But that mountain going down, coming right out, felt like Iron Mountain. Still got a lot of pretty mountain laurel, but they're starting to drop. But they're off pretty, add a little bit of, pop a little bit of color to the forest.
Right on my head. And I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I just, I started feeling better. I kept going back. I went to diving practice. I did all that stuff. Later on, it was some years, like a couple or 3 years after that. Did something, I had to go get an x-ray. I took the x-ray and the guy said, "You ever got hit on the head real hard?" I said,
All right, folks, so that is about it for our trip. Our section hike from Hughes Gap back into Erwin, Tennessee was a good trip, good terrain. Was not very difficult terrain. We hiked at SOBO. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this trip, it was hot, humid, and one of the things that I really liked was a dip in the cool waters of the Nolichucky River once we got back there to Uncle Johnny's in Erwin. So that was really nice, and really enjoyed that, and just enjoyed the trip together. Big shout out to David McGee of station at 19E. Hostel there, food joint there, brewery there. He came and picked us up at Uncle Johnny's and drove us to Hughes Gap. So David, I appreciate that very much. Thanks a lot. He does shuttles, of course, and he had some different types of drinks waiting on us there, from everything from an adult beverage to something called kombucha, which I have no idea what that is, but I drank it anyway. I wanted to try it. I've seen a coworker have that before, and anyhow, wouldn't pay for it, but it was good. So thanks, David, and I just really appreciate that. And then I made a mistake throughout the whole trip, just about. The Jason that I referred to as Jason, his name is actually Brandon. So Brandon, I am very sorry. Maybe that's why people won't hike with me, because I can't get their name straight.
That's why I like trail names. So anyway, Brandon, thanks a lot for going with us. I enjoyed that. Hope to go with you again sometime. John, appreciate you going with me. Enjoyed your company as well, and we had a really good time. That's a great section. I recommend it to anybody. NOBO, SOBO, or whatever direction you want to go. Folks, thanks a lot for watching this. I hope you got something out of it. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.